Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I am Kim. For this new video, I will be doing my October wrap-up. I know, it's a little late in the game. It's November 13, I think, but let me explain. I did go on vacation November 2nd, and then 31st, it was Halloween. Me and my best friend go all out on Halloween. We went trick-or-treating with her son, took my baby Toby, and so much fun. The next day, November 1st, was my birthday, so then I went shopping, and then I came home. My husband threw me a surprise party, which I honestly did not know about, did not expect anything. And then November 2nd, we flew to Las Vegas, and we were there for 4 days and came back, and then I was on vacation here, and I did honestly just relaxed. And then November 13, I'm barely making this video about my October wrap up, and for this October I read five books for October. Let's start off with the first one. The first one I read was Her Counterfeit Christmas by Grace J. Croy. Such a good Christmas book. I know. Greeting Christmas in October. Actually, this was an arc sent to me by the author, and honestly, my honest opinion here, I loved it. Loved it. It was such a good book. It has to do with Layla and Owen. Basically, Layla and Owen met at her grandmother's, I forgot what they're called, where they have like the older people in there. It's a house. I can't remember what they're called, but they met there. They basically had a crush on each other, but never said anything. I don't even think they have talked before this, but that day they actually started talking because Layla, I think they drive the same car, and she got in the wrong car, which was his, and then they went on like a little date. But then her ex-boyfriend calls her. Well, before this, she is trying to get into her grandma into better center because she has dementia. So at the center, they'll take care of her a lot better, but she doesn't have the money for it. Well, her ex-boyfriend calls her the same day that she's having a date with Owen Spencer, and he's like, hey, I got a proposition for you, let's get married. And then she was like, hey, I get married with you, you give me the money for my grandma's to put my grandma in a better center. They agreed to it, but he's like, okay, then we're gonna meet my family this Christmas, and we're gonna get engaged, and then we're gonna tell him. But his grandma, I think grandma said that if Spencer's grandma was like, if you get married, we'll double your inheritance or something like that. And so that's why he asked to get married. Well, when Layla and him go, I can't remember what part of town they went to, but they went, to spend Christmas with Spencer's family. And then there's like a twist to this, because comes to find out, Owen and Spencer are cousins. I think they didn't really Owen wasn't close to that part of the family, because when Owen's mom married, they kind of pushed her away because of who Owen's dad was. He didn't have any money and stuff. But anyway, Owen is trying to convince Layla not to marry Spencer for money and to marry for love. And they go into this little journey of he trying to convince her that he's a better man for her. So it's a cute little story, Christmas story, and I absolutely loved it. This is actually the first book I read of this author, but I thought it was so cute. The second book I read was Fall into Temptation by Lucy Score. Honestly, the only reason I even bought this book, I went to Target. Yeah, I think I bought it at Target, and I saw this fall, and I saw the tree, the leaves, the colors, everything, just fall book. It was pretty cute. So I was like, why not grab it? It could be a little fall book for me. And I think honestly this was like the only fall book I read. Like I read a Christmas book, I read a fall book. This has to do with Beckett and Gianna. Gianna just moved into town and she opened her own yoga studio, and she rents a place. Beckett basically, he is her landlord. I think he has like a house behind his house in his property, so she rents that for him. And then they start like, you know, talking to each other, and they think, both of them, like, he thinks she's cute, she thinks he's cute, but he is, I think, the mayor of the little small town place. And she's like, I guess they like think their life is gonna, if they get together, it's gonna be complicated because she has 2 kids and he has like a lot going on in his life, and so they kind of don't think it's gonna match. But then basically her dad's dating his mom, and then they're like doing a dinner, and that's when they kind of found out that their parents are dating each other, and they still are like iffy about it, like we don't know, but they can't keep their hands off each other either. So it's a cute little story. Like even the side characters, like I was so intrigued by them, by his brothers and all that. So, and I think this is called the Blue Moon series, if I'm not mistaken. And this is the second book though. The second book to the series. I do want to read the first one, and I want to read the other ones that keep coming. They are standalones, so I honestly did like it. It took me a bit to get into this book, honestly, but once, because I did this in a challenge, and you'll see a little bit more about the book in one of my other videos. I think it might be up right after this one. I talk a little bit more about it there, but you'll see that I was like not understanding this book at the beginning. But once I started getting a little bit more into it, I did like it. The next book I read was... Okay, before I tell you what book I read next, I don't know what I was doing. I waited so long for this book. I've had it for a while. I got it on Book of the Month, on one of my monthly subscriptions. I can't remember which one, but I had this book on my TBR cart for a while. Everybody and their mom were bragging about it, how good it was, and my cousin was like, do you have this book? I heard it's so good, I want to read it. And when I did, I was like, what was I waiting on? I ate this book up so quick. So quick. The book I'm talking about is Heartless Hunter by Christine Ciccarelli. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so I'm hoping I'm not butchering it. But this right here, oh my god, ate it up. I don't even want to talk about this book because I don't want to ruin anything that has to do with this book. I don't want to do any spoilers. Nothing. But I will read you what the book is about, and you will judge it. But I am telling you, man, if you have not read this book, don't walk, run to the store and get it, because this will change your life. It's so good. I am honestly can't wait for the second one. As soon as I finished this one, I went on Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, do you have this? Doesn't come out till January, I think, but love this book. Hear me out. On the Night Room's life changed forever. Blood ran in the streets. Now in the aftermath of devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, I can't read, guys. Rune spends her nights as a Crimson Moth a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. When the rescue goes wrong, she decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent and gain the intel she desperately needs by courting the handsome Gideon Sharpie. He's a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter loyal to the revolution. And too late, Rune realizes she might be falling for him. Gideon loves the and superficiality Rune represents, but when he learns that Crimson Moth has been using Rune's merchant chips to smuggle renegade witches out of the Republic, he inserts himself into her social circle by pretending to court her. He soon realizes that beneath her beauty and shell of fake is someone fiercely intelligent and tender who feels like he's perfect match. Except, what if she's a very villain he's been hunting? Come on, you can't tell me that's not good. Honestly, grab your tissue because I cried. This is such a great book. I honestly cannot wait to pick up the second one. Super duper excited for it. And that's all I'm going to talk about because I'm not trying to ruin anything. Like I said, some of these books are going to be in my video for the one that's going to come after this. So if you want to know a little bit about this one for sure is going to be on there. Go watch that. And yeah, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. The next book I read, also an arc, sent to me by the author, was Paradise Falling by Fire Rose. Mafia book. Mafia book, great book. Basically, this is like a revenge story. I can't remember the guy's name. Chelsea is the girl's name. Yes, Chelsea and Bastian. This is basically both of their revenge stories. Basically, she was left to die by her husband, her and her child. Her husband's enemies were looking for him and she didn't know where he was. So he basically ran away, left them to die. And Bastian comes into her life 6 years later and it's like, hey, tell us where your husband is at and we will take care of it. And he is also trying to get revenge, but this is from his uncle. There's more to story. They're like a mafia thing in Ireland, I think. Yeah, in Ireland. And he just grew up. He was sexually assaulted by his uncle's son and son's wife, kind of. So he's trying to get revenge on like the mafia part of it. He just wants to bring them down for what they did, kind of like. I'm trying not to spoil the book, but I'm trying to explain as much as I can. And she's trying to get revenge on her husband, but also trying to get revenge on the people who hurt her and her child. It's very, very, very spicy for sure. And that's probably why I gave it a lower rating, because I like the spice, but to like not too much of a spice. You know what I mean? But this cover though, I know a lot of people that don't like the covers when they have like people on them, but honestly, the way this cover describes Bastian so good. But you know who this cover reminds me of? Have you guys seen the 365 Days on Netflix? The actor on this, doesn't he look kind of like the same? And the same, it's a mafia story. Look at this, hot tea. Alright, the next book, there's a story behind this, is The Boyfriend by Freida McFadden. Do you see this? Is there something missing in this book? Do you see it? Yeah, the dust jacket. Do you know what happened? I'll tell you. My dogs, they ate the dust jacket. I know. My husband went on a work trip, or not a work trip, but he went to the mountains to work trip. And I hate staying by myself. So I literally did not leave the living room, the kitchen, or my room. That's it. Like I wouldn't go anywhere in the house. And I decided to take the dust jacket off and leave it up here in my loft with my books. You know, my dogs come up here sometimes. Never thought anything of it. A week later when my husband came back, I was like, well, I'm gonna go work. I came up here to edit some videos, and what I walk into, my dust jacket into a million pieces on the floor. All I did was breathe and walked away. I wanted to cry, but it's okay. I mean, accidents happen. Well, things happen because it wasn't an accident, but it's okay. I'll probably get another book to display it because, yeah, why not? Hello. But anyways, I honestly love the Boyfriend by Freida McFadden. Always Freida. She always leaves me wanting more. I've read The Boyfriend. I've read, excuse my nails, literally one of them just fell off when I was coming back from the dentist. I'm getting my braces next month. But anyways, I read The Boyfriend. I read The Housemaid. And I read The Inmate, I think that's what the name called. And I have like 3 or 4 more that I just bought and I want to read them. So good. They always leave me wanting more. And always like, I'm usually the one that guesses what happens and who is the person that did it. But Freida, there's always a freaking twist with her. Always. This one, I had 3 options. 3 options. I had 3 options, and at the end, none of them were right. I literally figured it out like seconds before the book tells us who it was. There was just this clue that gave it away. I honestly love this book. I ate it up again, and this is one of the books that's going to be in my video too, so I get a little bit talk more about that there. But anyways, this has to do with Tom and I forgot her name. Sydney. Tom and Sydney. Sydney has been dating. She went on a date with this guy Kevin, and when they were walking back, Kevin, like, to her apartment, Kevin tried to sexually assault her, and here come Tom, saves her from it, and they try. Well, she kind of was like mesmerized by him. It was like, whoa. But they didn't want to like really talk about exchange your numbers or anything like that because of what the situation that she was in. He didn't think anything, like he didn't think that she would have like wanted her number or the opposite, whatever. But then she's on a date with another guy, and this situation, he bumps into Tom again. She bumps into Tom again, and they exchange numbers and they go on dates, and yeah. But it's like the book's talking about, starts with like Tom's past to like the present, and it's like a back and forth thing. It's like the dual POV, but Tom when he's in high school, and Sydney like her previous life, and then it goes all the way to his previous life. So it's like a talk, yeah. So it's a very good book. I was intrigued since the beginning. I could not put this book down. I did read it a little bit slower because of the video that I was making for YouTube. I didn't read much this month or October. I don't know. I feel like in a book slump after The Boyfriend. I tried picking up different books, but nothing was just calling out to me. Like nothing at all was like catching my attention. I did start 3 different ones, and I couldn't get into them at all. But I feel like this one November has been better. It's already November 13, and I've read 4 books already. I'm hoping to pick up another one today and see where the day takes me. But I'm super excited for this month, see what I read. I am wanting to finish some books, and I actually do want to read some books by the end of the year. And yeah, I'm really excited for what this month brings. I think I'm getting out of my book slump, so I'm ready to keep reading. And I've been thinking, I don't know if I want to do Vlogmas or Bookmas this year. I've always thought about doing it, but I never did it because it's like too many videos for me, and I'm barely getting the hang of doing videos a little bit more often because just like work takes a lot of my time. But I'm gonna think about it. Maybe I can just record videos and post them like during Vlogmas or Bookmas. So I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna get my little ideas popping in my head. But yeah, well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next book. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, and share. Bye.